Let's do the AM news now. And the Electoral Commission has announced a rerun of the Kpandai constituency parliamentary election after the Tamale High Court ordered a repeat within 30 days. The court ruling came on 24th November 2025, and the clerk to Parliament notified the Commission on 9th December 2025 that the seat was vacant. The EC will hold the rerun on 30th December 2025, limited to the 3 candidates who contested the 2024 election. The notice was issued in a press release by Deputy Director of the Electoral Commission's Research, Monitoring and Evaluation Department, Fred Tete. Here are details of the statement. If you look at the statement, it says the Electoral Commission wishes to inform the general public that following the Tamale High Court ruling on Monday, 24th November 2025, ordering a rerun of the Kpandai constituency parliamentary election within 30 days, and upon receipt of a letter from the clerk to Parliament on Tuesday, 9th December 2025, formally notified the Commission of the occurrence of a vacancy in the membership of Parliament. The seat of the constituency in Parliament has become vacant. It continues to say that the Electoral Commission will hold a rerun of the parliamentary election in the Kpandai constituency on Tuesday, 30th December 2025. The rerun of the Kpandai constituency parliamentary election will be conducted for only the 3 candidates who contested the 2024 parliamentary election in the said constituency. Well, and this is coming after lawyers for the NDC candidate in that constituency filed a writ at the Tamale High Court, citing the EC for contempt. Let's see how this particular matter will go. But away from that, the Consumer Protection Agency, CPA, in collaboration with the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, has launched a major operation to clamp down on fake and unregistered baby diapers on the market in the Ashanti region. The exercise, which targets importers and traders dealing in counterfeit and unapproved baby diapers, forms part of efforts to protect consumers, especially babies, from harmful products. We have more in the following report.
Nathaniel Kwabnankroma, Ashanti Regional Director of the FDA, said the operation underscores the authority's mandate to regulate, register, and test products before they are allowed onto the market. According to him, several children have suffered complications after using the fake diapers, with some cases resulting in hospital admissions. He stated that the exercise will continue until all unregistered diapers and substandard consumer products are removed from the shelves.
Before a product is put on the market, the FDA, that's what we call registration. Some of the requirements are that we test in the laboratory to ensure that the standards comply. Unfortunately, we cannot attest to what it is because it's not been registered by us. And we've had reports from the Consumer Protection Agency where when people take such very fake or unregistered diapers, the kids have a lot of complications. Some have been admitted to hospitals, so it is not something that the FDA takes kindly. We take it very serious. Well, I won't say be worried, but it's part of, like I said, our continuous work as FDA, because we keep monitoring products on the markets. Once we register a product, we don't go to sleep. We monitor to ensure that those that we've registered are exactly as was what was registered, and those that are not registered, we take it out of the markets. So it's a continuous thing that is not a one-off activity that we'll do today. We'll plan again based on our risk and our data and do another one anytime soon. So we cannot predict. We come out as and when the data show that we have to come out.
Nana Prempe Eduhine, Executive Director for Mediation and Arbitration at the Consumer Protection Agency, said the CPA will continue to ensure that all products on the Ghanaian market are safe for use. He advised consumers to check and confirm FDA approval on all products before purchasing.
Consumer Protection Agency, luckily for us, next year will be our 20 years in existence in Ghana. Have made sure that whatever that we eat, we drink, we wear, everybody is a consumer. So we have to make sure that whatever that you eat or drink have to be protected, and that's the reason why we are here. What you have even seen in the market today, that so many people are doing the wrong things so many a time. I can say that FDA with other statutory bodies are doing their best, but we are overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed in the market of the things that I saw. There are so many fake products that need to be worked on. But it's not the fault of the FDA or GSA alone. Our borders are porous. People are using any means to bring the product in. I was at the port when somebody decided to bring second-hand clothing, but not knowing it was diapers that were in the product and all that. So people are doing so many wrong things. So we all as consumers should be worried and should be careful.
David Opoku's report, read to you.
Well, the Ministry of Education says it will intensify efforts to reach marginalized learners and students with disabilities as part of a renewed strategy to curb new HIV infections among Ghanaian youth. Deputy Education Minister Dr. Clement Apak made this known at the launch of the Education Plus initiative in Accra. Mamavi Safakote was at the event and has filed this report.
New education package dubbed the Education Plus initiative has been launched with the Education Ministry seeking to integrate the policy into its curriculum by deliberately targeting marginalized children. Deputy Education Minister Dr. Clement Apak shared his thoughts with Joy News.
For us at the Education Ministry, we have a unit that has the responsibility of addressing and bringing to the fore health-related matters pertaining to HIV/AIDS. If we are to customize anything specific beyond what we are doing, it should be targeted at the special needs schools so that we can reach the vulnerable and the marginalized. So we have the schools for the deaf, the schools for the blind, and other special needs schools.
The Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Kamasel Prosper Akabong, reiterated the urgency of embedding this policy into Ghana's curriculum to help curb the rising number of new HIV infections.
This Education Plus initiative is looking at how we can coordinate all those strategies that are scattered everywhere and all those laws and policies that are sitting somewhere that do not harness properly to effectively deal with the issue of adolescent education empowerment, especially with the area of HIV/AIDS and other early teenage pregnancies and other laws that prevent them from moving forward with their education. That is the way, the basis of the Education Plus, that we take all these mechanisms, country-led, country-directed, and make it a policy that we can protect these young adolescents.
UNAIDS Country Director Hector Cecilia Perez highlighted the groups most vulnerable to HIV in Ghana, a concern he says demands immediate national attention.
In Ghana, we have approximately 8,000 new infections per year in adolescent girls and young women. So most of these infections are, in the age between 15 to 24. And we need to secure that adolescent girls and young women remain prevented of HIV. And the evidence is suggesting that the more education women have, the less HIV infections. It's clear evidence that when the women achieve at least the secondary level of school, at least, so the HIV infections drop 50%.
The Education Plus initiative is a joint effort by UNAIDS, UNESCO, UNFPA, UNICEF, and UN Women aimed at accelerating investments that prevent HIV and promote gender equality. Mama Visefa Kote's report for Joy News.
Away from that, Lambussie Member of Parliament, Professor Titus Kofi Bayo, is urging the Interior Minister Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak to deploy an additional fire tender to the district. The area currently relies on one aging fire tender, a situation the MP says is inadequate for communities spread across long distances. Speaking at a brief ceremony where he donated bunk beds, mattresses and a motorbike to support personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service, Professor Bayo noted that Lambussie is a highly fire-prone, driven by its farming economy and a strategic location near the Burkina Faso border where national security installations are situated. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Lambussie.
The presence of the Lambussie Member of Parliament, Professor Titus Kofi Bayo, at Lambussie was in twofold. First is to fulfill a campaign promise of donating 50 metal bunk beds, 30 mattresses, and a motorbike to the Ghana National Fire Service and handing over of a renovated office building for the National Health Insurance Scheme. Professor Tatius Kofi recalled with nostalgia his visit to the operation office of the Ghana National Fire Service at Lambussie, where he saw the personnel crammed and huddled together on benches and planks under dehumanizing conditions.
I visited the fire service and I entered their room to speak to the men ahead of the special voting. And when I entered there, I realized that some of them were sleeping on planks, some on benches, and there were no proper beds for them to sleep on. In fact, I left there feeling very sad, because if someone is posted all this way and the person agrees to come to help us and they can't even get a place to sleep, I thought it wasn't fair. And so once I was elected, it's something that I placed on my heart that I was going to do something about.
Professor Tatius Bayu emphasized the importance of establishing fire stations in a district prone to fire disasters.
Lambussie is uniquely placed. We are faced with all the hazards of fire you can think of. Because it's a farming community, the bushfires is a common phenomenon. And also because of the border town, Hamile, we have more than 4 filling stations there. And the last year, we had a fire outbreak there. People were using pans to fetch water to try to quench this fire outbreak. So we are trying to equip them so that they can fight fire on our behalf, and more importantly, educate people on the prevention of fires. And that is the sole motive behind this. But I'll use this opportunity to thank the Interior Minister, my comrade and senior in Parliament, the Honorable Muntaka Mohammed. When I spoke to him and pleaded with him that we needed a second station in Lambussie, I wrote a letter to him just when I got to Parliament within 2 months. And before the middle of the year, they have created an operational station. And I want to appeal to him that I spoke to him about getting us a second fire tender. And he says immediately they get new stock, he would help us. So this is a gentle reminder that on behalf of the Paramount Chief and the good people of Lambussie, when they are giving out new fire tenders, they should remember Lambussie to give us one brand new one to help us combat fires along the border. There are sensitive national installations at the border town, and we need a properly functional tender to help us.
Acting District Fire Commander of Lambussie, ADO1 John Bonkroma, commended the Lambussie legislature for the donation, stating that it will go a long way to enhance their operations.
This intervention, it is timely and great relief to our personnel, which will go a long way to their morale and efficiency.
The Lambussie office of the National Health Insurance Scheme used to be under the Jiribai Municipal Health Insurance Scheme before it was partitioned 5 months ago. The condition for which the personnel were working under was not conducive. They were housed in an old dilapidated structure, rippled with gaping holes and leaking roofs. Professor Tatius Bayu came to their rescue by giving a facelift to the office.
You will continue to serve your clients and customers in the district here. Give us 100% NHIS coverage so that everybody there will have access to the good interventions of the NHIA. We are also happy. I am on the advisory board of the Ministry of Health, and I'm aware that the authority has decided to increase the tariffs by 120% so that service providers will be more comfortable providing service. It's my hope that beginning next year, you will also increase your supervision and monitoring of facilities to be sure that there will be reciprocate gesture.
Lambussie District Manager of the National Health Insurance Scheme, Yarbirasa Ankung, was commending the MP for the renovation, pledge ensure that the facility is put in good use. Reporting for J News, Rafik Salam, Lambussie.
Well, Christmas in Ghana is instantly recognizable by its music. Over the years, the country's festive soundtrack has shifted, blending old traditions with new rhythms. From church choirs to contemporary Afrobeat, the melodies that define the season continue to evolve. Rodelin Abensa explores how Ghana's Christmas music has transformed across generations.
Ghana has always been defined by music. And as culture and technology evolve, so does the sound of the season. What began with choir-led carols and hymn-based celebrations has grown into a dynamic blend of high life, gospel, hip life, and Afrobeat, shaped increasingly by digital platforms. In the early years, traditional carols such as "Oh Come, All Ye Faithful" and "Joy to the World" filled churches and communities with messages of faith, unity, and reflection. By the 1990s and 2000s, Ghanaian musicians began infusing local rhythms into Western melodies, creating festive songs that quickly became staples on radio, television, and at public gatherings. These tracks made Christmas celebrations more vibrant, more communal, and unmistakably Ghanaian.
Felix cannot dance. Felix cannot dance.
Today, the rise of streaming platforms and social media has transformed how Ghanaians enjoy Christmas music. Contemporary artists now release Afrobeats, gospel and hip life inspired holiday singles that trend online, especially among younger listeners who curate their own festive playlist. This modern wave coexists with older traditions, from solemn hymns in church to upbeat digital remixes on TikTok and YouTube. Ghana's Christmas soundtrack now bridges generations, preserving the old while amplifying the new.
Everybody say glory, glory, glory to the King.
Dashing through the sun, on the road with glasses on, all along we go.
Through all these changes, the spirit of the season remains constant. Joy, community, and the power of music to bring people together. For Joy News, Rodalyn Abensa's report, read to you.
We're some 14 days away from Christmas, right? So what is your playlist? Get it done and let's enjoy the festive season. We'll take a break and we'll be back with Business Update Tuesday. Some business updates now, and the Bank of Ghana has maintained that the 10 billion Forex support for this year aided critical payments rather than just targeted at defending the city. We have captured more in this report.
Persons close to the Bank of Ghana have told Joy Business that these monies were directed towards payments of independent power producers, bondholders, as well as dividend payments. We are also learning that a significant portion of the $10 billion were advanced towards paying some debts owed by Government of Ghana that were due. The Bank of Ghana has therefore maintained that the funds were not solely directed towards defending the Ghana cedi over the past 11 months, as has been discussed. The clarification from the Bank of Ghana is coming at a time that some have raised serious questions about the $10 billion Forex support auctioned by the Bank of Ghana since January 2025. The Bank of Ghana has again argued that its dollar intervention is strictly being guided by the new foreign exchange operations framework, which is now aimed at bringing some transparency about this whole market support. Some market analysts had argued that even though these monies were advanced towards these sectors, it somehow went to support the cedi stability.
Being urged to take a more decisive role in the fight against corruption. Now, this charge was made at the Private Enterprise Federation National Forum in collaboration with Good Governance Africa to mark the 2025 International Anti-Corruption Day. Here's more.
The Private Enterprise Federation National Forum themed Enhancing the Role of the Private Sector in Fighting Corruption Through the Promotion of Governance and Integrity served as a platform for experts and stakeholders to identify existing gaps and develop collaborative solutions to curb corruption in Ghana. The gathering brought together key players from the public and private sectors, civil society and academia to explore practical strategies that can enhance transparency and strengthen integrity across the country's country's business environment. Addressing journalists on the sidelines of the event, Chief Executive of the Private Enterprise Federation, Nana Osei Bonsu, underscored education as a critical tool in empowering businesses to recognize, resist, and report corrupt practices. He revealed that the Federation remains committed to rolling out continuous education campaigns nationwide to equip the business community with the knowledge required to uphold ethical standards.
The efforts of what we're doing is to educate the people to know that do not give in. Don't give in. Report to us. We will follow the trail, and we also engage with the highest levels of government and make them aware that this is what is being done to us. We are in private business in Ghana, but there are other countries that we are in competition with. Even now, as we speak, we hear of fronting Ghanaian businesses being pushed to front for foreign businesses. So the benefit is not coming to Ghanaian businesses, it's going elsewhere. By educating, holding these similar workshops, our Ghanaian businesses will be equipped to report to us, and then we will follow the trail to see that it doesn't continue.
Adding his voice, Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement at the Center for Democratic Development, Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, emphasized the importance of strengthening institutional systems, particularly the independence of internal auditors. According to him, ensuring auditors operate without interference will significantly improve transparency, enhance accountability, and accelerate national anti-corruption efforts.
We need these preventative processes because the monies we are losing is just ridiculous. So if we say we are going, the point is, how do we put all these structures in place and yet we don't want it to work? Almost everything that we have put in place to fight corruption, we want to undermine it. So we need to hold our political actors, our leaders, accountable. Let's make sure that they are independent, they are bringing it out, and that we are stopping people from wasting our money.
Stakeholders expressed optimism that sustained education, improved internal controls, and a unified national approach will drive meaningful progress in Ghana's fight against corruption.
That's all for Business Update, and that wraps it for the AM News. Up next is Sports on the AM Show with Muftau Abdullah Nabila. To stay.